Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers report Lois Cerullo, Rena Sofer, is drowning in feelings about the secret she has kept from everyone all these years. It's not just that Brooke Lynn Quartermain, Amanda Seton, had a child and gave him up for adoption, and it's not just that she never revealed it to the father, Dan Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna. Now, with the truth bubbling beneath the surface, she could stand to lose everything that ever mattered to her, including the grandson she was always trying to protect while selfishly keeping an eye on him and knowing she was the only one who got to. Lulu Spencer's, Alexa Haven's, relentless quest to prove Giovanni Mazza, is Brooke Lynn and Dante's son is closing in fast, and Lois is feeling the heat. With Cody Bell, Josh Kelly, feeding Lulu intel and rumors of a DNA test swirling, Lois' carefully guarded secret is on the verge of unraveling. If Lulu confronts her at a high-profile event like the nurses' ball, the public fallout could strip Lois of her credibility and her bond with Brooke Lynn. Worse, Gio might turn on her for hiding his true parentage, leaving Lois isolated. Her desperate attempts to deflect Lulu's suspicions, perhaps by leaning on Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bernard, might only delay the inevitable. Will Lois' house of cards collapse under Lulu's pressure? As Lois fights to keep her secret, Gio stands to gain a family he never knew he had. If Lulu's DNA test confirms he is Brooke Lynn and Dante's son, Gio could be welcomed into the Quartermain and Falconeri folds, complete with Sonny as a protective grandfather. But this windfall comes with a catch. Learning Lois hid the truth could shatter his trust in her. Gio is already navigating his place in Port Charles, and this revelation might push him to embrace his new identity with open arms, or reject it in anger. Fans are speculating whether Gio will seize the love and legacy awaiting him or lash out at the lies that shaped his life. Either way, his gain could be Lois' ultimate loss. The biggest blow for Lois might come from Brooke Lynn, who's unaware her son is Gio. When the truth hits, Brooke Lynn's pain over losing years with her child could morph into rage at her mother's deception. Lois' choice to stay silent, even as she watched Gio grow up, might be unforgivable in Brooke Lynn's eyes, especially if Dante feels equally betrayed. With Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, supporting Brooke Lynn, Lois could face a united front of resentment. Fans are buzzing about whether Brooke Lynn will cut her mother off or find a way to forgive her for keeping Gio close yet so far. Port Charles is no stranger to heartbreak, betrayal, and unexpected turns of fate. But for Lois Cerullo and her nephew Gio Palmieri, the coming weeks could turn their worlds upside down. One poised to rise like a phoenix, the other teetering on the edge of devastation. Lois Cerullo, from center stage to shaky ground. Lois Cerullo has always been a force to be reckoned with. From her Brooklyn sass to her fierce loyalty, she's faced love, loss, and more than her fair share of heartbreak. Since returning to Port Charles, Lois has found purpose in reconnecting with her daughter Brooke Lynn, helping guide her music career, and even dipping her toe back into the music industry herself. But recent spoilers tease that all of that stability could be ripped away just as quickly as it came. After all, this is Port Charles. Whispers are swirling that Lois' rekindled interest in L&B records might become her undoing. With Blaze gaining traction and Brooke Lynn finally stepping into her own as a music executive, Lois was poised to help usher in a new golden age for the legendary label. But behind the scenes, financial mismanagement and a brewing scandal involving an old business associate could blow the lid off everything Lois has worked for. According to sources, a familiar face from Lois's past, perhaps someone from her early music industry days, will return with a vendetta. This individual may have evidence that implicates Lois in an old contract dispute or creative rights battle, one that could cost her more than just her reputation. If this scandal catches fire, L&B Records could go under, Blaze could lose her career momentum, and Brooklyn might lose the stability she's only just regained. Worse, this could tear mother and daughter apart at the seams. Brooklyn caught in the middle. Brooklyn has always had a complicated relationship with her mother. They love each other fiercely, but they're both headstrong, and both have different visions for what success looks like. While they've been riding high recently, the looming threat over L&B Records could fracture that fragile bond. GH spoilers suggest Brooklyn might be forced to choose between loyalty to her mother and protecting the artists under her wing. If Blaze's career is jeopardized, or if investors start to back out of L&B due to Lois's past actions, Brooklyn might have to step up and potentially step away from her mother's guidance. To complicate things further, Chase is also deeply invested in Brooklyn's future, and he may advise her to take a hard look at what's best for her career, even if that means distancing herself from Lois. Expect emotional scenes ahead as Brooklyn finds herself stuck between the mother who gave her everything and the career she's finally building for herself. Enter Gio Palmieri, the rising star of Port Charles. While Lois's world begins to tremble, Gio Palmieri's star is just beginning to rise. The charismatic nephew of Lois, Gio has made a strong impression since his arrival in Port Charles. With his smooth charm, street-smart instincts, and surprising depth, Gio has quickly become a fan favorite, and it looks like the show has big plans for him. Spoilers reveal that Gio will soon find himself in the middle of a high-profile storyline that could change his life forever. He's already begun forming connections around town, notably with Trina Robinson, Jocelyn Jacks, and even Spencer's younger sibling Ace, in a protective older cousin sort of way. But his charm isn't just social, it might have professional consequences as well. It turns out Gio may have talents that no one saw coming. Whether it's music, tech, or even a hidden knack for business, there's buzz that Gio will soon be scouted by a major player, possibly Valentin Cassadane, or even Sonny Corinthos himself. The question is, what path will Gio take? Gio, music, mob, or something else? Given Lois's ties to the music industry and Brooklyn's rising profile, it would make sense for Gio to be pulled into the entertainment world. There's even talk that Gio and Blaze could collaborate, musically or otherwise, which could cause quite a stir for both their public and private lives. However, others in Port Charles have their eye on Gio for very different reasons. Rumors are swirling that Sonny Corinthos sees potential in Gio not just as a family member, but as someone who might be an asset in his organization. With Dante increasingly distancing himself from the mob, and Sonny's grip on his empire slipping amid legal troubles and personal betrayals, the mob boss might be eyeing a new protege. And Gio, with his loyalty, intelligence, and charm, might fit the bill. But this could pit Gio against Lois in a devastating way. Lois has made it clear she wants her nephew to stay far from the shadows that have consumed so many others in their family. If she finds out Sonny is trying to groom Gio for a darker future, expect fireworks, especially if Gio is tempted by the power and protection the Corinthos name offers. A power shift in Port Charles? If Gio embraces either a music career or begins dabbling in the family's organized crime world, it could dramatically shift power dynamics in Port Charles. Lois, once a stabilizing force in the Cerullo family, could find herself watching helplessly as the younger generation steps into positions of influence without her guidance or control. Even more heartbreaking, Gio's rise could be inadvertently tied to Lois's fall. If Gio lands a lucrative deal, whether through L&B Records, Sonny's empire, or some other venture, while Lois is embroiled in scandal and potential financial ruin, the juxtaposition could be devastating. There's potential for a role reversal here. Lois, the once protective aunt and powerhouse, finds herself vulnerable, while Gio, the wide-eyed newcomer, becomes a key player in town. How Lois handles this role reversal will say a lot about her character. Will she lash out, trying to control Gio, and push him toward the path she deems safest? Or will she accept that he must forge his own destiny, even if it leads him away from her values? The emotional fallout. General Hospital has never shied away from emotionally complex storylines, and this one has the potential to be both explosive and deeply human. At its core, this is a story about generational conflict, the desire to protect loved ones, and the realization that you can't always control what happens to the people you care about most. Lois could lose everything: her career, her company, even her standing in Brooklyn's life, just as Gio becomes someone of real importance in Port Charles. And while Gio might be riding high, he'll have to reckon with what it means to succeed while someone he loves is in pain. There's also potential for a new kind of partnership between Lois and Sunny if they realize they're both trying to protect Gio from the world they helped create. That kind of alliance could be a game changer, and if handled right, an emotional powerhouse of a story. Final thoughts. As summer heats up in Port Charles, the emotional and professional stakes are sky high. Lois Cerullo might be staring down the loss of everything she's rebuilt, just as her beloved nephew steps into the spotlight. Will Gio's success come at the cost of Lois's downfall? Or will the two find a way to support each other even as their paths diverge? One thing is certain: in a town where loyalties shift and secrets never stay buried, anything can happen. And for Lois and Gio, everything is about to change. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.